AI is not that smart, they say. That seems to be the sentiment right now, especially after Andrej Karpathy's latest interview with Dwarkesh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We are at least a decade away. Why do we have to wait another 10 years until we get to functioning agents? It's weird, isn't it? I thought they're already smarter than humans. What's going on there? But before we dive in, I want to bring your attention to the current What the LLM issue. It is a physical AI mag that comes out every month. There's so much noise out there. And this magazine not only informs you, but it also educates you so that you stay ahead and you know how to use AI the right way. So let's dive in and see what people really think about AI. We need to stop pretending AI is intelligent. We are constantly fed a version of AI that looks, sounds, and acts suspiciously like us. It speaks in polished sentences, mimics emotions, expresses curiosity, claims to feel compassion, even dabbles in what it calls creativity. But here's the truth. It possesses none of these qualities. It is not human. And presenting it as if it were, that's dangerous because it's convincing. And nothing is more dangerous than a convincing illusion. I am going to agree with this. AI is awesome. I use it every day. And it takes over a lot of my work, which is a good thing. And I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, it's going to take your job. Well, that's the thing. It can do a lot of tasks for me, but I have to stay in charge. I can't just let it go off. I have a little automation workflow happening. So an AI researches a topic and then writes a post on it and posts it on social media for me. It's not doing a really good job. It keeps failing. It forgets. It gets lazy over time. And you could say, well, it's not getting the right tools. Oh, well, it's not being programmed properly. That might be the case. But if we had truly intelligent AI, would we even have to worry about that? I mean, can't the AI figure it out all by itself? You see, AI is still very dependent on humans. It needs our data. It needs our prompt. It needs our instructions. Why AI is not like a calculator? I never did learn my multiplication tables. Though I got better at them, there are still obvious gaps. However, it never impacted my life. Between cell phones and computers, I've never had to rely on my memory to multiply two numbers. That is likely true for many people, which is why some compare calculators to generative AI systems. However, this has several problems, especially regarding AI in the classroom. AI is not a calculator, and thinking of it like that is actively dangerous. Simply put, generative AI is not a calculator. It is infinitely more complicated, which opens up many new possibilities and creates many new dangers. The first and most obvious difference is that calculators don't make mistakes. If you punch in 6 times 9 and get something other than 54, you are the one who made the error. AI systems, on the other hand, are known to hallucinate. They state untrue things as fact, often without clear reason. AI systems also have biases. They are developed by imperfect humans and trained on content by other imperfect humans, and their output often reflects the worst of that. AI is a next token predictor, and it's going to look for the most likely fitting word, paragraph, sentence to your request. AI still lacks common sense 70 years later. And many people say that not much has changed. So we're still working towards the same problems. What's obvious to people still isn't always obvious to machines. AI doesn't have common sense. It doesn't have experience. It doesn't have a own memory system where it can store things by itself. It can't decide, well, I'm going to keep this because this is super interesting, and I'm going to let that drop because that's not so interesting. It's not an intuitive, creative approach. We humans still have a vast amount of capabilities that AI doesn't. Yeah, the common sense thing, that's really important. The AI has to truly understand what it's doing in order to get better and make less mistakes. But that's just not the case with today's LLM. Despite impressive output, generative AI doesn't have a coherent understanding of the world. Researchers show that even the best performing large language models don't form a true model of the world and its rules, and can thus fail unexpectedly on similar tasks. Now, this is one of the reasons why we don't have mainstream robotics yet. Because in order for a robot to function well, it needs to move in our world. And let's say it walks down the road and an object just jumps in front of their feet. The robot has to understand that it's a pitfall and it needs to walk over it, jump over it, walk around it. Just what humans do. They see an object, oh my gosh, they jump out of the way, whichever way they do it. I always like to bring the example of me sitting down at the desk, moving the keyboard in the right position, moving the microphone in the right position, turning on the computer, moving the mouse. There are so many small movements that are happening in milliseconds. And a robot has to do the same. If we really want a robot to take over for us, we need it to do the things that we do every day. I don't even know if a robot can walk uphill. There's still a lot of things that need to be solved. So that kind of tells us that AI is not that smart yet. Project Vend. I'm not sure if you guys remember in June, Anthropic, they do run awesome tests. I really like that. Can Claude run a small shop? And why does that matter? I am going to leave this article in the description below that you guys can check it out. But it failed completely. If Anthropic were deciding today to expand into the in-office vending market, we would not hire Claude. Can today's AI video models accurately model how the real world works? World models are models that are supposed to simulate the real world. So Google DeepMind, NVIDIA, and a couple of others are working on that. Spatial intelligence is a big thing when it comes to robotics because they just have to understand what's happening around them to make the right decisions. New research shows highly inconsistent performance on a variety of physical reasoning tasks. I would love to know, what are your thoughts? Do you believe that AI is as intelligent as we are? Do you think we're going to have robots in the next 3 years? Do you believe that it will take a decade to get to intelligent AI? And what does it actually mean to have intelligent AI? Is it even needed for our world? Do you guys think we need it or not? We should stop investing. I would love to know. Maybe some of you don't want it. Maybe some of you are like, why should we do it? Dear friend, that's all I got for you today. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we'll be back soon. Peace out.